Force is strong with you today. For all is as the Force wills it. For I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. Hello there, and welcome to this very specific ASMR video, which I'm sure you've probably already guessed the theme, and it's a theme which is there to celebrate the glorious day in which this video will be uploaded on May the 4th. And you just got mind tricked for some reason. So in this video, it will contain tingles, and you will get tingles. You don't know when, but you will get tingles and find relaxation out of this video. So, with as many Star Wars things I could jam in there. So this being a Star Wars themed ASMR experience, there's going to be different sorts of sounds and movements to create the ASMR with all the Star Wars things I have here. And seeing the collection, it's full of pure goodness, so I'm going to utilize those things for our ASMR enjoyment. So you will sit back, relax, and you will have a good time. Okay, so we're going to begin with the first thing, and this you may have seen before, but you definitely know what it is. You guessed it, it's the Millennium Falcon. So this is one of those make-yourself microscopic models, which can be somewhat tricky if you have hands like mine, but I finally got there. But it creates some really nice sounds when we get nice and up close with it and really see what the Falcon has got to offer for our ASMR enjoyment. It's a very delicate metallic sound. So let's try your left side. Just allow the Millennium Falcon to make the castle run in less than 12 parsecs through your brain and create that ASMR sensation. Falcon can also be joined by another ship, not to scale obviously, but the Imperial Star Destroyer makes more Imperial metallic sounds, and if that metallic sound is a trick of yours, then the Imperial Star Destroyer will help you with that. So, as you can see, this is quite a nice, delicate model of the Imperial Star Destroyer, but it is here to create some ASMR for you. And this is well known for the opening scene of A New Hope. It's very textured, so it's nice when you run your fingers around it and it greets you with sounds. So if Star Wars apparel is your thing, then the Star Wars socks are a must. Of course, featuring Chewbacca and Yoda, but also creates a really smooth sound, which is incredibly pleasing. Of course, it's just a matter of rubbing around and manipulating the object to create the sounds. The force is strong with this one. There's something about the cardboard texture which is so smooth, but if you look closely, that's right, you just keep looking there. Just look. Then you may get triggered just by the tapping, because it's also great for tapping up as well. So like many of my Star Wars possessions, like with the mugs you may have seen in my previous video, some things don't get opened and remain in the packaging just so they could be looked at. Not that I collect or care about keeping things in mint condition, but I like it so much I just don't want to ruin it. Like these socks, they will hang up so I can enjoy them. And good job, because they have been used in an ASMR video now. So, intense tapping is your favourite, then hopefully this helps. So, speaking of my last video, there was of course one mug which slipped through my mess and didn't make an appearance, and here it is. And this was one of those mugs who of course went in the "you're too good to be used" category, so it remains in its packaging, but it's great now I could finally show you it and get some ASMR out of it. This Rogue One mug was one of those mugs which was calling to me. The Force surrounded it, the mug, the tree, the rocks, and when I picked it up, I had a Force vision, and I was drinking lots of tea from it and making ASMR videos. So I like getting things which have a memory attached to it, and I'm one of those intense Star Wars fans who will watch the movies at midnight and queue up. When I watched Rogue One, I enjoyed it so much that I needed something to remember it by, and what perfect way to remember it by than a mug which I will probably never end up using, but it's a metallic, or actually a matte black mug with metallic print in it with the Empire sign and Star Wars. It looks really cool. Next item we have is an item which is incredibly textured. When I was younger, I used to have so many different types of sets of these, and used to build non-stop, and I used to be my own little zone. I was extremely happy when I had these sets, and I used to imagine all these battles and create these armies and things, and it brought me a lot of enjoyment. And then when The Force Awakens came out, all the advertising started going my way, and I started seeing new sets again, and they looked really cool. And it got to the point where every time I was at the supermarket shopping and getting my food, I'd be walking down the aisle which contained these sets, and then eventually I caved in and ended up building a little set, and it sits proudly on my shelf. This of course is a First Order TIE fighter, and these TIE fighters, even though they were slightly reimagined, they didn't lose their iconic look. And to me, that combination of this sort of lighter grey with the black ring around it and a bit of red creeping in there, and the fact that there's two that pilot it, it just was so awesome, and I loved it so much. And the art directors, I think, who reimagined it was Doug Chang and someone else who'd been in Star Wars for a working for Lucasfilm for so long. I don't want to get too nerdy now, but yeah, it looks cool, and I had to have it. So there it is. It was great building it again. But for me, for ASMR purposes, for you, it is incredibly textured. So it makes some very unique sounds. And if you enjoy Lego, then it probably won't shock you to know. Now that I have this, that I also share your enthusiasm. And if you were to give me a load of Lego bricks and Star Wars sets, I would probably switch off, go back into kit mode, and just have a tremendous amount of fun building these sets again. Not just the side plates which make the nice sounds, it's everywhere. At the top, at the front, and at the back. Actually works out pretty good, as the outside wings work as a good sound barrier, so it focuses in on the tapping a bit more. But what I love so much about this particular TIE Fighter is the red windows which you have inside, so you can see right through. And my original TIE Fighter never used to have that when I was younger, so this was great. And just have a random one here, but he's Stormtrooper, but of course this has TIE Fighter pilots and they sit in there, so on and so forth. But I want to get too bogged down in the finer details, as this is just kind of a kid's toy, so it just looks good. Okay. it's nice and delicate, so when up close it has a metal body and a plastic legs which do move, and they make different sounds, and, well, you'll see. So we have the sort of plasticky sounds to its legs, and it's that sort of fidgeting sound which can be quite inducing for triggers. And then the metal body. The Force is with you, then you probably drink out of some Star Wars mug and cup. But unfortunately for me, I love all my Star Wars cups a bit too much, so they also get put on the Star Wars shelf. This one I love because it's really textured, so it makes different sounds that normal cups would. I just love the Stormtrooper at the front. I think it looks so good. But inside we have just a standalone, I think it's a Top Trumps card, and I have those somewhere as well, the prequels and sequels ones, and that is a great game. But this was given to me when I was at Star Wars Celebration, so I think you're beginning to see how much of a Star Wars nerd that I actually am. So it's probably about time which I made a Star Wars field video. It wouldn't be a Star Wars video without the thing itself. There was a bit of a choice when it came down to selecting the right cover for my Star Wars Blu-ray saga set, and I wanted something which reminded me of my VHS collection of the sequels. I remember Darth Vader and Yoda on the side, and that stuck with me. I saw the Darth Vader, I knew that was the one to have. And I love these Blu-ray versions so much, especially the quality on the Phantom Menace has a lot of those. The filming on that was practical and model making, and it looked really cool, the pod racing and things. But I like this one as it's a lot more compact than its predecessor. But of course, when episodes 7, 8 and 9 come out, then I'm sure there's going to be another box set which includes the sequels, the prequels, and then the sequels, and maybe the standalone Star Wars movies as well. So I have a lot of things which are lying around, which I love, and they're a bit different and unique, and these are Star Wars straws. And what home isn't complete without Star Wars straws? And you could drink your drink from a Star Wars cup using Star Wars straws, whilst probably wearing a Star Wars shirt and drinking blue milk, a Star Wars drink. But for me, these have some really nice textures. So when I picked these up, Darth Vader's helmet here has a really nice sound to it. So the straws got featured. And I think because the helmets are actually really accurate as well. The Stormtrooper and Darth Vader, they both look really awesome. And Darth Vader's helmet looks very reminiscent of what we see in the movies, and also the Stormtrooper is spot on. So I just love little delicate things like that and attention to detail. But also the bonus is that it makes good sounds. Stormtroopers and different coloured straws. They look awesome. So then my final Star Wars object which I have with me is something which I just love with a passion, and they have been featured in previous Star Wars roleplays, but I'm not sure this one has. And of course it's the lightsabers. When I first saw the metal lightsabers, it was a dream of mine to get one. So with time I saved up and eventually got one. This is a master replica, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Revenge of the Sith, A New Hope lightsaber. And I kept the stickers on it just because I wanted to, but it just had much use and swinging around, and I really love FX lightsabers so much, and I can just be staring at so many online when I have spare time, and they're great, and I just want to duel with people, but unfortunately I don't really have people to duel with, so I'm stuck in my own Star Wars world. But it makes nice sounds if we get up and close. For me, I really love the pommel of this lightsaber, and I think both Obi-Wan Kenobi versions have always been attracted to, and I'd love to get an FX version of the Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 1 and Qui-Gon Jinn's lightsaber. They look so awesome. There will be something, I'm sure, which will be utilized in a future video, as the Force was with a commenter where they mentioned about a Jedi Master roleplay, and it's in production. And what I mean by that is that I'm waiting on deliveries, and once I have everything and found everything that I need, then I'm sure that a Jedi Master ASMR themed video where the Force will be combined with ASMR in a way which it will be strong with you, and try and make something unique. So that is the future video. But to turn it on, you would need to hold up here and then press the up button there. Now, I love the Darth Maul staffed lightsaber, and when I was younger, I managed to obtain both of his lightsabers and combine them together, and what I ended up with was this amazing lightsaber, and I loved it so much, but one of them was faulty and I ended up taking it back. But then I couldn't find a replacement, so I was left with one Darth Maul lightsaber. But I can choreograph quite a lot of saber related things, and I've had training in the past, so I think that combination together has always been in my favour, and that's why I enjoy it so much. But it's all spawned by Star Wars and these lightsabers. So thank you, Obi-Wan Kenobi, for lending me your lightsaber for ASMR purposes and for looking good all the time. So So as you can imagine, I could probably keep on going and bringing out all my Star Wars memorabilia and items and everything, because I have so much, and I've kept all the things when I was young as well. So it's just great to have it all, as I love it so much, and as you could probably tell, it's quite a big passion of mine. And so, for those who are interested in the Jedi Master roleplay, don't worry, that is in consideration. And there was an awesome comment in my last video about it, so I'll look forward to when that's in production and I can obtain everything to make a really ASMR inducing, forceful Star Wars roleplay video, something that can immerse you and be pretty cool, and something you haven't experienced in an ASMR video before. But until then, I'll be looking forward to making it for you. I hope you enjoyed going through those objects and you got triggered. And hopefully that Jedi mind trick worked in you at the start. But that only works on the weak-minded, so hopefully you just got ASMR by yourself and you weren't mind tricked. So I hope you enjoyed all the Star Wars goodness and got some good sounds from that, and different objects made little different sounds to please your ASMR triggers. So the Force is with you, and I am one with the Force. The Force is with me, and I am one with the Force. May the Force be with you.